Hello everyone. So I'm back earlier than usual with a repaint of Shalltear figure. This figure was released, I believe, last week or last to last week. If I'm not wrong, it was released last week, and because I tried to get it as soon as possible. Since I had already painted Albedo Bicute Bunnies figure, I wanted to paint this one as well. I was quite happy when I came across this figure because I have been painting a lot of Overlord figures and all of them have been Albedo. People have been asking for, more characters, but unfortunately, when it comes to price figures, there are not many, and I believe Albedo sells the most. So most of these companies dealing with price figures, they go with Albedo alone. The other ones are mostly premium figures, which I can't really afford, and even if I can, many of them fall in the complete range, or what I would consider as a complete figure. So those are the figures I don't want to touch. Some of them have like a very good finish, so you don't really want to go in and change up things. They look very beautiful the way they are, and you just want to display them. So yeah, this one, I got this and a second Albedo figure for some modifications. This one is an interesting figure. It has a lot of purple, if I were to say so. Has a lot of purple shades, and I tried to do something different with her skin this time because at least from the references I got, Shalltear has a much paler complexion. So I wanted to show that difference in my painting when it is compared with Albedo. So that is why I went with, I would say the shades are a lot more suppressed. They are not as warm when compared to the Albedo figure. And the shades that I used were planned accordingly. And of course, just to, make it simpler, they used a lot of the red brown, which I had mentioned earlier in my previous videos. I use that color only for shadows, but this time it was present in all the three shades. So basically the base, the shadows and the highlights, all of them use that color. So it's an interesting figure. It was fun to paint, but it's a small one, it's a quick one, so it didn't really take as much time. And I also tried to do it. Honestly, I was painting it at my normal pace, so it's just that the figure was smaller and it did not take as much time to finish. But the complete painted figure looks really good. There are a few things that I did not record this time, or I would say I missed out on recording because I was just wanted to paint, and like I have previously mentioned, my eyes get fatigued when I have to record because of the lights. So at some point I just stopped with the recording and went on with the painting. So there were like the white highlights on the hair and even on the skin, which were not recorded. The coloring of the red areas of her figure, which were not recorded. But there wasn't much. I would say you didn't really miss out on much. So it was a fun painting. It was enjoyable at the very least, but not as fun as Albedo. If I'm being honest, painting Albedo is a lot more fun because of the sculpting, and I would say that's just based on my preference. I prefer the sculpting on Albedo, but this one is also good. And once you compare the end results of both, it looks really nice. There is this difference in the skin tones and the color. It really pops out. So yeah, Bicute Bunnies Shalltear figure. I would say this is a really nice price figure if you guys like Overlord, and if you like Shalltear, this one is worth buying if you want to decorate it. So by all means, go ahead and purchase the figure. It's really nice. And as it comes to my figure, this one is also being auctioned. As most of the people know, all of the figures that I paint are put out to auction because I simply don't have the place to store them. But either way, yeah, I would say that I don't paint figures for collections. Like, I am not really a collector myself, because what I enjoy more than collecting figures is the process of painting itself. So I'll enjoy painting the figure. The whole process of painting would be like a lot fun for me, and once it's done, I'm done with it. Like, I have extracted the maximum amount of enjoyment I could from the figure. So after that, I'll just be like, okay, let's move on to the next one. So because of that, I have to mostly auction them off so that I can create space for more figures, because I do live in a shoebox apartment in Japan. So yeah, barely having any space also counts into it. But either way, that is something about the figure painting and collecting and all that stuff. Other than that, this figure is it's painted in my usual style. There is nothing really as new or anything that I would particularly want to draw your attention to. I'm still trying to think if I did anything differently, but no, not really. I don't think there's anything worth pointing out. It's all the usual, just cell shading. And yeah, also if you notice, I have stopped using gloves these days, and that is because of the season change. So as the season changes here, things get very dry. The humidity goes down a lot, which makes my hands dry, which is kind of good for me because it allows my hands stay clean for longer. During the summertime when it's humid, it's very easy to get dust on the figures. Now it's not, so it's a lot more comfortable. I feel comfortable without the gloves anyways. So yeah, that is probably the only difference you'll observe in the videos moving forward. But that's all I have for this one. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. If you like the video, leave a like on it. Let me know. I do get a lot of people asking me questions in different places, so don't worry about it. Just go ahead and ask me whatever. But if you're asking for stuff like painting, many people generally they'll ask, like, I want to get into painting figures and those things. So for such things, until and unless your question is a little specific, I cannot really give you a very specific answer. My answers would mostly be very generalized, because there is so much to speak about the topic that I don't know what to tell you and what not to tell you. Because when you are beginning, or when you are starting with painting, you don't need to know everything. You start at one particular point and then build up from there. So yeah, I would say, like, if you have questions, make them particular and I would love to answer. Like, give me a list of questions. I would love to answer them one by one. I don't mind that. So yeah, that's about it for today. I'll see you with the next one, which will either be Albedo, another Albedo Bicute, or it will be an AMP plus figure. So yeah, till then, see you. Bye bye.